In Chapter 1, I look at the possibility of the existence of the spiritual world and the divine through tools of maths and science against belief systems. The final conclusion was that it is possible for the spiritual world and the divine to exist. In Chapter 2, I examine the words from witness statements across various belief systems with our understanding of the psychological and social sciences to determine possible messages that the spiritual world and the divine is sending us. One such message appears to be the notion of giving in Confucius' The Analects. Refers to the principle of giving without expecting, meaning that acts of kindness should be selfless and done without any expectation or gratitude or return. It refers to benevolence, a virtue about a deep and selfless love for others, and righteousness are not self-serving but are aligned with a sense of duty and what is morally correct. In the Buddhist Tripitaka refers to giving without expecting, central concepts of charitable giving and selfless service. This practice is done to uplift others without selfish motives and is believed to lead to spiritual growth, liberation from the cycle of rebirth, and genuine fulfillment. It encourages detachment from material desires and ego, transforming duty to a selfless act that fosters inner peace and a higher purpose. In the Judaist Torah, the concept of giving without expectations is emphasized through various laws and principles, such as the requirement to provide for the stranger, orphan, and widow, as detailed in the Deuteronomy 14:28
Deuteronomy
through to
chapter
29.
26,
It promotes
verse 12.
giving without
When
expectation
you have finished
through the
setting
act
aside
of
a
justice
tenth
and
of all your
righteousness,
produce in the
rather
third
than
year.
a mere act of charity. The highest form of giving is anonymous and giving freely out of kindness. Yet another is the concept of unconditional love, which embodies giving without expecting anything in return. In the Christian New Testament of the Bible, giving without expectation is rooted in the principle of acting out of selfless love, as taught by Jesus' example and scriptures like Luke 6:35. This means giving to others, even enemies, with no thought of reciprocation, because the primary motivation is to be kind and generous, as God is. Believers are encouraged to find fulfillment in the act of giving itself, trusting that God will provide spiritual blessing and that such an act aligns with God's honoring lifestyle. In Islam's Quran, giving without expectation is a core principle known as the sadaqah, which is a voluntary act of charity done for the sake of Allah. This selfless giving can be monetary or through acts of kindness, such as smiling or helping others. The Quran encourages giving without expectations, such as the Surah An-Nisa 76:9, where the benevolent feed the poor for the face of Allah, with the Australian Aboriginals dreaming and Tadiri. The concept of giving without expecting is directly linked to the health of the environment and the Aboriginal spirituality, which is inseparable from the land. Deeply ingrained in the tradition, sharing is done through dreaming stories, teaching relationships of trust, a commitment of cultural humility, respectful engagement with others, and sharing food and housing based on the understanding that people will help when needed. And the focus of Tadiri, a spiritual listening that involves communal, deep, quiet, still listening to earth, moving with it, and giving back land to attend to the health of the environment. What we know in the social sciences, giving without expecting is best defined as altruism, which is selfless concern for the well-being of others, often involving acts of kindness, charity, or help without expecting anything in return. It is distinct from a traditional relationship and is motivated by genuine empathy and a desire to improve others' lives. It is also related to generosity, which involves using one's resources like time, talent, or money for others' benefit, and is viewed as a virtue and a measure of community health. In the psychological sciences, giving without expecting is psychologically beneficial, as it activates the brain's reward pathway, increasing feelings of happiness and improves social connection. But it is important to give without resentment and not to overextend your own needs. It reduces stress hormones like cortisol and reduces inflammation, which benefits heart health. It increases happiness, where research shows that spending money on others can bring longer lasting joy than spending it on oneself. It improves health and longevity, linking generosity to better overall health, higher quality of life, and even delayed mortality due to stress reduction and a greater sense of purpose. It boosts social connection, promoting social bonding, trust, and great unexpected opportunities, and a network of supportive people. And it activates the brain's reward system, triggering the brain's reward center, promoting a warm glow and a sense of pleasure that is intrinsically motivating.